Okay. 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 Thought I was having technical difficulties. All right, man. Yep. Yep. You already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And man, another loss. I'm getting too used to this, y'all. I'm getting too used to this, man. You know what I mean? I'm not even mad. I'm past angry. You know what I'm saying? I'm past angry. I'm to that stage of indifference, which is never a good thing. You know what I mean? We've lost 5 in a row. It's not looking good right now. Too many players hurt. But besides that, it's just the way that we're playing. We're not playing very good basketball in key moments of the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a short one because I'm not too happy about what has went on in the last 5 losses. 5 straight losses. Hopefully this is just one of those stretches, tough stretches in the season, and we can right the ship. But we're 4 games under 500 now. And every loss, it just gets worse and worse. And we have a tough opponent coming up right tomorrow. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, since we lost, man, I'm going to start with the things that I liked about tonight's game. And off jump, man, I liked our ball movement. I thought that, especially earlier in the game, I thought that our offense was running a little more efficient. Yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody was touching the ball. We were getting good shots, so I definitely liked that. We also was pushing the pace, very downhill, whether it was Denny, whether it was Kuzma, with the ball in their hand, getting the rebound and pushing the pace. I definitely always like that, you know what I mean? I also like the fact that it looked like, especially early in the game, that we were making an emphasis to get the ball in the post, especially with Porzingis, you know what I mean? I was definitely happier tonight with Porzingis beginning to, you know, try to score in the post, do most of his damage in the post. That's one thing that I would complain about over and over again with just Porzingis, just shooting too many threes, but he's 7-3 though, you know what I mean? So tonight, he only attempted 2 3-pointers, and what do you know? He was 11 for 13 from the floor, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. He did have 4 turnovers, but he also had 2 blocks. So again, he played the center position tonight. You know what I'm saying? Running, trying to score in the post, do damage in the post, being the post. And he played a very good game, one of his better games this season. And I'm just hoping that Coach Ensel is preach to him that he needs to be in the post more. We don't need him shooting threes as much as he has been doing in previous games. 6 attempts from the 3-point line for a 7-3 center. There's too many in my opinion, you know what I mean? 2 to 3, maybe 4 at the most is more in line with what I would be looking for from my center. That even if he can shoot the 3-point shot, you know what I mean? So for him to have only 2 shots tonight, I think that he's beginning to learn his lesson, that he's much more effective for what we need, what the Wizards need when he's playing in the post, you know what I mean? We had an 18-8 run in the first quarter after the Pacers started fast. They started on a 7-0 run, no, a 9-0 run, and we were able to combat that run and get back into the game with our own 18-8 run. So it showed resilience. It showed that when we get our heads in the game, that we could do what we needed to do. Because when we started the game, we were lackadaisical. We weren't playing very well. And the Pacers took advantage of that. You know what I mean? So for us to eventually wake up and get back into the game quickly was a very good thing. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like with the Wizards, we know they cannot sustain once they start showing signs of success within a game. And they got to do a better job of that. You know what I mean? I thought Monte Morris ran the point guard position well tonight. He was, 7 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, only 1 turnover. I thought he was pretty steady, all in all. You know what I mean? He didn't give us, too much, but he wasn't a detriment in regards to running the offense as well. You know what I mean? So I definitely liked some of his game tonight. I liked our 3-point shooting, especially in the first quarter. Well, only in the first quarter. You know what I mean? We were 7 for 13 from the three-point line. We ended the first half 8 for 16. But after that, we could not hit a three-point shot for anything. We ended the game 10 for 29 after starting the game 7 for 13. So we went 3 for 16 the rest of the way after the first quarter. You know what I mean? So definitely not a good look. And again, it's part of the reason why we lost the game tonight. I like Kuzma's start to the game. He hit 4 3-pointers in the first quarter, which was a career high for him in a quarter, hitting 4 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying? He had 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists to end the first half. So we had a decent first half, but I thought in the second half he wasn't as effective. He scored, but he wasn't as effective in regards to assisting. He only had 1 assist in the second half, and he added 3 rebounds in the second half. So he wasn't as effective as he was in the first half for us in the second half, you know what I mean? But I did like how we started the game, how he pushed the pace, how he was downhill, and was doing a little bit of everything. I just wish he could have sustained. But you got to remember, we only had 9 players, so you knew that this team was going to get wore down as the game went on, and I think that was also part of the reason we lost tonight. We just didn't have enough bodies to replenish the starters, and they had to play yeoman's minutes tonight, and it really kind of hurt us, hampered us, especially towards the end of the game. I thought Denny played well early in the game. He had a nice, solid stat line, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. So we did a little bit of everything as well. I thought he was much more aggressive than he has been in previous games. But it kind of started in the last game where he was being aggressive, driving to the paint, not hesitating, taking shots. Whether he hit them or miss them, he didn't hesitate. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like he's just much more comfortable playing when Bradley Beal's not playing. But unfortunately, we need him to play the way that he's playing when Bradley Beal's on the floor. You got to play with that same confidence, you know what I mean? But I did like some of the things that Denny did tonight, you know what I mean? We were 60% from the field to end the first quarter, so I liked how, again, our offense was moving very well early in the game. But later in the game, the Pacers did clamp up. We ended the game over 50% shooting, 53.2%. You know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't enough. Long story short, it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? So, but I did like, again, our first quarter, we did play a good game. Even though I think we ended the quarter down 2. But I thought we were very efficient. And we ran the offense very well in the first quarter. I like Gafford played tonight. He protected the paint well. He had a decent game as well. He only had 7 points and 3 rebounds, so the box score doesn't show his effectiveness, but he was a presence in the paint. And especially when they had Gafford and KP play together, it definitely caused problems for the Pacers. And I definitely like that Unseld is getting much more comfortable with that lineup, you know what I mean? I also thought Jordan Goodwin played very well off the bench tonight. He gave solid minutes, was a pest, played great defense. He ended the game with 5 steals. He had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. You know what I mean? So a nice all-around game, hitting the 3, hitting open shots when he had the chance to take them. So again, he played a very solid game. I definitely like what he brought off the bench. I thought we started the third quarter very fast. We hit 2 shots, made the Pacers trying to call a timeout, and we tied the game up. We ended the first half down 4, and then we started the third quarter very fast and tied the game. So I definitely liked how we started the third quarter. Unfortunately, we couldn't sustain the way we needed to sustain in order to try to get this win, and it was part of the reason why we lost. The inability to sustain. Again, I just think the team got fatigued. You could kind of see it if you were watching the game, that the team was getting very fatigued towards the end of the game, and the Pacers really took advantage of that. And again, I already mentioned the Gaff and Porzingis lineup. When they play together, it definitely causes defensive problems for the opposing team. And when we really need that lineup, I'm happy that Coach Unseld is finally playing that lineup and is, doing well, doing good things for us at times throughout the games. Unfortunately, it's not enough for us to get the win. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, that's all I liked about tonight's game. You know what I mean? Not too much. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough for us to get the win. So let's get to the things that I didn't like. And off jump, man, we started the game extremely lackadaisical on both ends of the floor. Lazy passing. We off tip, like really, literally off the first tip. The Pacers got an easy drive to the basket. Then they went up 9-0 before we, like I mentioned earlier, got back into the game and got our heads into the game. Why does it take us for us to get down 9-10 points early in the game for us to eventually wake up and try to claw back into the game? It always starts like that. Always trying to claw back. Always trying to claw back. We started the game down 9. We lost the game by 10. So just all that energy it took for us to get back into the lead temporarily before the Pacers went back up on us. It's never good to start the games fighting back from a deficit. You know what I mean? So we got to get better at focusing to start games. You know what I mean? Also, a lot of bad turnovers throughout the game. We ended the game with 14 turnovers. The Pacers only had 4 turnovers. I mean, that's the story of the game when you really think about it. That's 10 possessions more that the Pacers had to put up a shot. And we lost the game because of turnovers. That's not the only reason we lost the game, but that was a big reason why we lost the game. Just a lot of turnovers, especially early in the game, middle of the game, towards the end of the game. We just turned the ball over too much in opportune time. So I definitely didn't like that. Our three-point defense was shaky, especially in the fourth quarter. The Pacers ended the game shooting 44% from the three-point line, 18 for 41. We ended the game 10 for 29. I already mentioned we started fast, but after the first quarter, after making 7 threes in the first quarter, we only made 3 threes for the rest of the game. So that's another recipe for a loss. You know what I mean? So not rebounding, turning the ball over, and missing threes are big reasons why we lost tonight's game. Hill got in double figures in the first quarter extremely fast, you know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. You know what I mean? He ended the game with 28 points. Man, he ended the game with 28 points. 12 for 19 from the field, so we really didn't have nothing for him. So I definitely didn't like that. Mathurin coming off the bench gave them some good minutes. Good-looking rookie. Definitely didn't like that. Even Porsett hit some threes in the second quarter, back-to-back threes. That also, just again, man, just momentum-killing threes, momentum-killing plays. And not just the Pacers, but the last 5 games. Each opponent just had momentum-killing plays that really set us back, and we just can't seem to overcome when teams do that to us. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. Halliburton started to get hot in the second quarter. It just continued his great play throughout the game. He ended the game with 23 points, 11 assists, only 1 turnover. You know what I'm saying? Again, their point guard play is just much better than I like Jordan Goodwin. I like Monte Morris. But Halliburton is a very good point guard, and I wish we had a point guard that can control the tempo of the game like he can for the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Played a very good all-around game for a point guard. You know what I mean? Very beautiful game. You know what I mean? So, as a Wizards fan, I definitely didn't like that at all. You know? The Pacers was 10 for 17 from the three-point line in the first half. Again, they ended the game 18 for 41. So, they didn't shoot the three as well as they did in the second half, as well as they did in the first half, but they shot the three good enough to get the win. You know what I mean? That's ultimately all that matters, man. I also didn't like the fact that we gave up 69 points in the first half. You know what I'm saying? We clamped down a little better in the second half, but it wasn't enough because we lost the game. You know what I mean? And we just, again, I already mentioned it. We just couldn't hit threes after the first quarter, man. So that's really everything, man. That's everything I didn't like about tonight's game. And everything I didn't like about tonight's game was really the reason why we lost the game, man. Just not able to focus when we needed to focus. Again, I will give them a little pass for being fatigued. Only 9 players available tonight. But we're 5 games on a 5-game losing streak right now. And I'm not feeling this, man. You know what I mean? I'm getting to that indifferent stage. And I don't like feeling like that. We need to win badly. And for John Wall to be coming back to the city tomorrow, you know how he get down. We don't got no players that got the mentality of John Wall. You know he's gonna be hyped for tomorrow's game, and I'm just hoping that we can contain him. I mean, he hasn't been the John Wall of the past, but any time a player that played for a team comes back to play their former team, there's a little extra energy, and I do not doubt what John Wall is gonna want to try to do to the Wizards tomorrow. So. We got to play much better tomorrow, and we need to get a win, no matter what, by any means necessary. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. If y'all enjoyed the content, I would really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel at The Wizards Review on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter at Wizards Review. You can follow me, King Ade DMV, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on Xbox Series X and S on NBA 2K23. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, I'm out, man. Until tomorrow, let's try to shake this off. I mean, 5 losses in a row is never easy to digest, but we got to stay positive, and we just got to hope that this team can go on a winning streak. They did early in the season during the homestand, so I know they could play good basketball, but right now they're in a slump. I'd rather have this slump early in the season rather than later in the season, but we need to get it together because we are falling further and further down the standings in the East, and we cannot afford to fall any more further. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, until tomorrow, take care, have a good night, peace.